Fuck off. Fuck off. Fucked off. Fucked off. 싸가지없는 완전 진짜 문제 제약. 똑딱똑딱 치더니 김은지. 물론 생각을 얘기하는 거지. 생각. Talk to me about Peter Bragging. How about 박사님? And your take on revolution? It's a revolution, and people believe in it. Believe in something needs to change. It's a revolution, bro. Evolution. 전거 프라이빗으로 하자. Let's make it one. Let's make the last one private. Like, no, don't delete it for forever. Just make it private. Yep, done. Not okay. Go out for a walk. If enough people believe in an idea, it's a revolution. I miss her a little bit. Meeting. 이제 또 진짜. 나갔다 올게. Go for a walk, be back, take a shower, maybe start on something. 나사랑 카드는 제발 받았고, it's a Sunday, so yeah, we'll work on something. 이거 쓰레기도 버리고 올게.
Who controls the world, and also the influence I have over the one demographic that most fearful of, the young military age males. Those are the ones you need to be the backbone of the slave.
기대 설마. (22분이) 아직 남았네. I should take a shower. Will not mention Peter breaking into her. Peter breaking into her. I'm sure. 죄책감을 느껴가지고. 역사를 보면, 사이카이트리 역사. 가다만 죄책감. 제가 왜 요즘 이러는지. 제가 왜 말을 하는지 죄책감을 느껴서 그래. 평을 양들 다 살고 싶지도 않고 언젠가는 이제 의존증을 줄여야 되기 때문에 지금 힘들지만 시도를 해보는 거야.
Guy who believes that, working together. Can everyone be successful? Do you believe that? Good question. So, firstly, I'll answer, can everyone be successful? I think the world would be a terrible place if everyone had a free mind. You do need the slave minds. I've heard you say that. As annoying as they are, you do need the slave minds. You do need the guy who believes that, working the gas station is important and he's good at it. You need him. It's good. You need these people.
But what if that guy just doesn't know any better, though?
It's good.
Or he's
This is what we're talking
limitations.
about. Good, fine. The world can't all be, mansions in Palm and Dubai. They can't all be that. So, successful is all about self-definition, which is what I was saying at the beginning. You have to decide who you want to be, and if you wanted to be Joe Schmo and you pull it off, then you'll be a pretty happy, content person. To decide who you want to be. I think the people who are miserable it's the gap between their expectations and their reality. That's where the misery lies.
Yeah.
My expectations were always enormously high. Even when I was a nobody, I knew I had to be filthy rich and a kickboxer, and I knew I had to be the kind of guy that people gave
Were
shit.
you happy at that point?
I know, but I knew basic things. At the age of 15, I knew that if I'm the kind of guy that if I raise my voice, people are going to care. I'm not going to be the guy who starts shouting and everything is funny. I know I'm going to be the kind of guy who's genuinely a formidable opponent in all realms of human endeavor. I know I'm going to have money. I know I'm not going to take shit.
Where did that come from, though?
I understand what you're saying because my whole life I felt like there's always more. I know that there's more. Like,
But I think a lot of people have that.
But the people who are miserable are the people who don't try hard enough to obtain it. Because I actually believe, and this is another thing I'll say, I believe the universe is very giving. I think the universe and God himself is very giving.
All garbage.
They don't teach anything important. They just teach anything. They teach things that are going to keep you inside the slave mind. And they want you to go to school and then go to college and then go to university and get in debt. And you have to be in debt so that now you have to work. And you're working and you're in debt. And then they want you to take on more debt if possible in the form of a mortgage, which a lot of people do, which we can talk about because I know you're the property guy.
I said, yeah.
And then you're in debt now. And once you're in debt, you can't really quit your job. And it's very difficult for you to leave the
I don't want to work there. Fuck that place, bro. I want to be like Tate.
country. And now they can hold things over you. That's the goal. It's all about control mechanisms. And the system is very well designed to make sure that people are conditioned to obey. It's very hard for the average. You have to resist the slave mind. You have to look at it all and understand they are trying to make a slave of you. And when I say slave, I do not mean slave lightly. I mean the word slave. They are printing money from the sky, and you're giving up your life for it.
True. They're printing money from the sky. They're making you do stuff that you don't need to do. You're a slave. 뭐야, 너.
If they can create something in unlimited amounts anytime they want, and you'll give up your life and time for that said thing.
True, money's not real, bro. Money is not real at all. It's a fake, bro. Create content, bro. I only do stuff that I can express my views where my freedom is given.
You are their slave. They don't need to use power and control and whips anymore. They just have the money print button. It's slavery. And they need to make sure that even if you know that, you don't feel powerful enough to do anything about it. All of this, every single thing about the modern world was deliberately constructed to get us to a point where they can come along and lock you in your house or something with a 99.9% survival rate, and you're going to sit there and take it like a bitch. And the system's a scam. Look at these last few years. You're living in Canada. You don't learn that everything's a fucking scam? All of it. Oh, but don't worry. If things don't go my way, I'll get to go to court and have my say in court. Yeah, that's fair. We learned that doesn't mean a fucking thing. The law doesn't mean a thing. Your rights don't mean a thing. It's all a fucking scam. The only hope you have is to cure your brain, see the attacks which are coming from the Matrix, get a strong network of individuals such as the War Room, and then learn how to escape. Most people are so deep inside of their programming. What did Morpheus say in The Matrix? Most people are so hopelessly dependent on the system, they will die and fight to defend it. The system's a scam. You have to resist the slave mind. You have to look at it all and understand they are trying to make a slave of you. And when I say slave, I do not mean slave.
Music.
Lightly. I mean the
유튜버 될 것 같아. 자, 이렇게 해서 천장이 일단 없고 그한테 계급 지시당한다는 해도 되고 위아래가 없고 일단
slave. They are printing money from the sky, and you're giving up your life for it. If they can create something in unlimited amounts anytime they want, and you'll give up your life and time for that said thing, you are their slave. They don't need to use power and control and whips anymore. They just have the money print button. It's slavery. And they need to make sure that even if you know that, you don't feel powerful enough to do anything about it. All of this, every single thing about the modern world was deliberately constructed to get us to a point where they can come along and lock you in your house or something with a 99.9% survival rate, and you're going to sit there and take it like a bitch anyway. System's a scam. Look at these last few years. You're living in Canada. You don't learn that everything's a fucking scam? All of it. Oh, but don't worry. If things don't go my way, I'll get to go to court and have my say in court. Yeah, that's fair. We learned that doesn't mean a fucking thing. The law doesn't mean a thing. Your rights don't mean a thing. It's all a fucking scam. The only hope you have is to cure your brain, see the attacks which are coming from the Matrix, get a strong network of individuals such as the War Room, and then learn how to escape. Most people are so deep inside of their programming. What did Morpheus say in The Matrix? Most people are so hopelessly dependent on the system, they will die and fight to defend it. Most people will sit here and pretend that the world they live in is just and fair because they are fucking slaves. I even said to myself I'd never fly private because of how ridiculously expensive it is. But COVID convinced me I had to do it because it kept telling me to put masks on. I said to
You just get water and just drink it throughout the flight. That's
yeah,
what I was
that's what I was doing as well, sitting there with Pringles.
Yeah, yeah.
But I said to her, I was like, my dear, why do you care? It's the rules. It's the rules. No camera. Why, please, use your brain. Engage your brain. I know you're some 21-year-old Polish woman who's never fucking thought of anything in your life. Please think. Why do you care? Their
Your
brains.
money's no object.
Their brains are controlled. Their Their brains are completely controlled to the point where you can't get through to them with any form of logic. It was amazing. That was the worst period of my life, this fucking imaginary pandemic part. I'm a peaceful person. I've never literally walked around Earth so angry. I walked into gas station, mask, no. You have to wear a mask, no.
What do you think about people's being identifying as pandas and fucking?
It's insanity. And everyone knows it's insanity, but we're not supposed to say it's insanity, right? And it's kind of interesting where a government, their number one job, a lot of people out here, it still amazes me, they believe the government care about them.
Yeah, they'll go.
They don't give a fuck. Corona, well, they locked us in our house, but they want us safe. More people have died from missed doctor's appointments for cancer diagnosis than they did corona. Shut up. They don't want you safe. They've never cared about you being safe. They never will care about you being safe. If you believe the government wants you safe, you are too far gone to save. What the government wants is slaves. Slavery's not gone anywhere, right? So the old school idea of slavery, let's talk about slavery. The government would get slaves.
앞에 배달료. 살짝 좀. 자, 2만원짜리가 세일해서 샀어. 먹었어야 돼, 피자를. 2만원짜리. 23,000원인데, 22,900원인데, 세일해가지고, 원래는 세일해가지고 2만원에 샀어. 19,900원인데. 24,000원에 2만원에 산 거. 배고파. 사야지. 노예제도로 원하는 것이 노예제도. 노예제도지. 노예제도. 세스 바베큐 이 바베큐는 무슨 돼지고기 아니냐? 돼지고기 산 거 같은데. 돼지고기야, 이거 불고기야. 돼지고기인 것 같다고. 아, 씨, 괜히 사가지고. 바본가 봐. The government wants slaves, bro. You're working at stuff that you don't need to work. What you want is to tell the truth. 그게 나를 충만해질 것 같아. 노예제. They want slaves. That's right. 이거 왜 돼지고기네. 아, 이런 나쁜 놈들.
Make them work for free. Bar gone to save. What the government wants is slaves. Slavery's not gone anywhere, right? So the old school idea of slavery, let's talk about slavery. The government would get slaves, make them work for free, and build things. That's slavery. So they've stopped doing that now. So what do they do now? They get people, make them build things for money. But the government print all the money. So if a government can create as much as they want of something from thin air, and you'll give up your life for this thing they can create from thin air as much as they want, you are still their slave. That's it. You used to be a slave and you work all day, and at the end you got food in the house. Now you work all day, you get money, and you spend all your money on food and a house. Slavery is still here, my friends. Nothing's changed, right? Nothing's changed. And what they want is they want slaves. They want slaves who are going to comply and pay their taxes. And whatever kind of indoctrination or societal programming they can instill inside of people to keep them doing that, they're going to do. Anything it takes to stop people waking up and realizing, whoa, the government's fucking me here. Let's forget Corona. Let's forget locking us all in our houses and taking our business away. I'm paying how much tax? What? You're helping me how much? If you actually wake up and look around you, you realize you're being destroyed in real time. We can talk about this a lot because I understand money very well. This is what I do now. I gave up professional fighting to understand it. I was having a conversation with someone the other day. They were talking about Joe Biden and his relief checks. He gave out $1,400 to all the people in America because of Corona. They said, "Do you think he's good that he's helping the poor?" I said, "You think that helps the poor?" Let's talk about that. People a $1,400 check, right? Everyone understands you can't just leave it in the bank forever because of inflation. The value goes down because what happens when they print trillions of dollars from the sky, the dollar becomes less valuable. And now we're living in a world right now where inflation's getting out of control, especially in America, right? In the last year, inflation's up like 6-7%. So no poor person's going to take that money and just leave it in the bank. They're going to either spend it or invest it. Let's say there's 100 poor people and the 100 poor people spend their money to all the people in America because of Corona. They say, "Do you think he's good that he's helping the poor?" I said, "You think that helps the poor?" Let's talk about this. You give 100 people a $1,400 check, right? Everyone understands you can't just leave it in the bank forever because of inflation. The value goes down because what happens when they print trillions of dollars from the sky, the dollar becomes less valuable. And now we're living in a world right now where inflation's getting out of control, especially in America, right? In the last year, inflation's up like 6-7%. So no poor person's going to take that money and just leave it in the bank. They're going to either spend it or invest it. Let's say there's 100 poor people and the 100 poor people spend their money. What do they spend it with? Businesses. Who owns businesses? Rich people. So now each one rich person who owns a business gets 10 poor people's money, or 20 poor people's money. Amazon, their stock price went up 30%. Why? Because people were getting stimulus checks and spent it on Amazon. It all went to the rich guy. And then they go, oh yeah, but what about they invest it? Invest it where? Invest it in the stock market? That increases the stock price. Who owns the company? Rich people. You've made them richer. What if you and all your poor friends, 20 poor friends, it'd be more than 20, 200 poor friends, put all your money in together and bought one house between you? That still takes one house off the market and raises the property value of that area. Who already owns those expensive houses?
Rich people.
Rich people. It always ends up back with the rich people. You can't stop making the rich richer. You cannot stop it. People inside the matrix don't understand what's happening. And they're going to sit there and go, but the government cares about me. He gave me $1,400. The government doesn't give a shit about you. The government is looking after its friends. The government gave all the slaves a little bit of pocket money so they can send it all to the rich guys. It's all a scam. And people inside of the matrix do not understand. It's all a scam. It's all a lie. The idea that government cares about them is a lie. The government is never going to tell you anything that's going to wake you up. The government's going to teach you things that are going to make you subservient and compliant. They're going to tell you all this crap about identifying as a panda and all this other shit is not an accident. When they can convince the average person on the street to pretend that some other person is a panda because they said so, you are fully in the slave mindset. When it comes on the news, if someone says they're a panda, you have to agree they're a panda. Otherwise, you are racist and a bigot. And you go, okay, you are done. You are now full slave mode. And that's all they want. So you will continue to work your shit job for shit money while they continue to do whatever the fuck they like. It's all a scam. When I tell people that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, everyone agrees. They go, yeah, that's probably true. The 5 people you spend the most time with, that's what you're going to end up like. They say, yeah, that's true. And then they continue to hang around with people who they don't want to be. Why? There has to be a point. There has to be a point where you say, go, hey, you're my friends, etc., I love you guys. Yeah, we can talk, whatever. But I'm on a different life path. You have to leave some people behind. You wouldn't want to be, if you were to come hang out with me and you were in a room with me and my 5 friends, you'd feel self-conscious. I'm with killers. We're fucking monsters. If you were to
밥을 막상 와있어. 하버드 박사가 말했어. 이제 하버드 박사가 말했어. 하버드 박사. I'm not gonna eat the 돼지고기. I just don't want to. That was a waste of money, bro. I could have bought 2 steaks with that money. 2 steaks. What a waste, bro. I'm gonna leave a terrible review. They're such a waste of money. Waste of money, bro. That pizza was a waste of money. Terrible pizza, bro. 소고기도 아니었어. 스테이크라고 해놓고 소고기야. I'm gonna leave a terrible review. 스테이크라고 해놓고 돼지고기를 스테이크라고. I'm gonna leave a terrible review, bro. Review. 휴먼 현호? 아니 왜 주문 안 됐다고 나오지? 씨발 새끼들 이미 다 됐는데. 진행 중이야. 리뷰 못 쓰게 하려고 하지 얘네들. 아, what a waste of money.
To come hang around with me and my crew, you would be self-conscious, and that self-conscious, the beauty of his own creations. You'd be amazed how lucky you'll become. God is unhappy with these people, and inside their hearts, they're unhappy. We talk about depression, anxiety, all those things you mentioned to me earlier on this podcast. That comes from self-loathing. You loathe your own weakness. You loathe your own laziness. This is what all of these things are. I don't feel depression. How can I feel depression when I'm the most powerful version of me that I could ever fucking be? How can I feel depression when I can squeeze my own hand hard enough to break my own bone? How can I feel depressed? It's impossible. You have to rewire your brain. That's one of the things you have to rewire your brain to do. And the reason your brain needs to be rewired is because anyone who is watching this stream below the age of 30, your brain is already broken. And I'll tell you it's broken. I'll tell you why. Watch your friends when they're on TikTok. How long can they even focus on a video? Before they have to change. Half a second. All of your minds are broken. You can't even focus on anything anymore. You are distracted to the point where you can't even appreciate the good things in your life. You're distracted. Your minds are broken. You need to rewire your mind and resist the slave programming. How? I'll tell you how. First thing you have to do is identify it. You have to identify what is happening to you. I use my mind to break the trap. What I do is I allow my enemy to manipulate me on purpose. And then I use my mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrators. I will sit on TikTok for a day and I'll just enjoy TikTok. And by the end of the day, I'll watch myself. How quickly I'm looking to be entertained, how little time I give a video, how fucked up I am. And then I'll blink and I'll cure my fucking brain. You must allow yourself to be manipulated and you must fix it. All of it. You just talked about not appreciating the things you have. Then blink and cure your brain. It's a conscious decision. You're letting other people control your mind.
Distraction.
The Matrix is trying to control your mind. They're very good at it. That's what they do to control all of us. You have to break the trap.
이건 나중에 쓸게 리뷰는. 짜증나네. 리뷰도 못 쓰게 하고 있어. 그 돼지고기 줘놓고 원래는 소고기라고 스테이크라고 해놓고서 돼지고기 줬는데 아 괜히 피자 사버렸네. 씨.
If you cannot control your own mind, let me make this point. This is extremely important. If you cannot control your own mind, then you are just a feather in the wind of life. Because your own mind is the only thing you can control. You can't control the weather. You can't control people. You can't even control whether your heart stops beating. You might have a heart attack tomorrow. You can't control anything besides what you think. If you cannot control your own mind, then you go through life with zero control, zero influence. You can't control anything. You're just a feather in the wind, waiting for life to blow you from happy place to sad place to happy place to sad place, completely hoping on the gods to be fortunate to you, because if any genuine discomfort comes your way, you're fucked. It is trained, like everything else in life. It is trained. So if you find yourself not appreciating what you have till it's gone, then you must blink and cure your brain. If you find yourself unable to focus or concentrate on tasks, you must blink and cure your brain. If you find yourself unable to go and dedicate yourself to something you don't want to do, you must blink and cure your brain. Because all of our minds have been under constant assault for years. The way the mind functions, the way people interact, has changed so significantly in the last 10 years you wouldn't believe. If you go to a party today as opposed to a party 10 years ago, they look completely different. People are acting differently. People are on their phones now than ever used to be. Even now, people will go to places only to get an Instagram picture, even if they don't enjoy the place. It's all about pretending they're having fun as opposed to actually having fun. The entire paradigm of society and how we interact has now changed. Every single thing in the world is attempting to influence you. I'll give you another paradigm that people need to understand. I ask people have these beliefs. Doesn't matter what their belief is. Doesn't matter, they believe in something. I say, where did you get that belief from? And they don't know. Oh, it's just how it's supposed to be. We're just supposed to wear a mask, whatever it is, right? Where did you get that belief? Who told you that? And does that person have your best interests at heart? Think about it. Think about all the things you truly believe. Think where you learned it, and think if that person actually gives a fuck about you. Because the only thing you should be learning from is personal experience from people who genuinely care about you and love you. Most people are out here believing things and repeating things that were told to them by people who don't even fucking like them. By their enemies. Everyone's mind is fundamentally fucked. All of it. Look at me. I'm a guy who decided to conquer social media. I blinked, cured my brain. I used basic indefatigability. I used perspicacity. I used compendiousness. I used my mind, and I focused, and I fucking conquered the world in a few short months. It's not difficult. There's just no competently fucked. All of it. Look at me. I'm a guy who decided to conquer social media. I blinked, I cured my brain. I used basic indefatigability. I used perspicacity. I used compendiousness. I used my mind, and I focused, and I fucking conquered the world in a few short months. It's not difficult. There's just no competition because everybody's fucking distracted. They're getting distracted by this, distracted by that, watching fucking Netflix, jerking off to Pornhub like fucking jackasses. It's so easy to win if you can control your own mind. But it seems that nobody fucking can. And that's how the people who run the world keep the world running. Because they have all the slaves exactly where they need them to be. Permanently distracted and semi-depressed. Working their asses off in jobs which will never satisfy them and never pay enough money. That's the matrix. Schools are designed to make you a slave. You're set up for slavery. Whole thing's a fucking scam. The education system.
이망치 세상을 누가 이 전체 방해하면 코알만 것밖에 안 돼. 야, 아무리 뭐 의사가 되어도 뭐 의사를 지금 가렵다 쳐도 대한민국에서 코알만큼밖에 안 돼. 못 미쳐. 유튜브로 천장을 깨야 돼. 테이프처럼.
System's a scam. The judicial system's a scam. The medical system's a scam. Look at these last few years. You're living in Canada. You don't learn that everything's a fucking scam? All of it. Oh, but don't worry. If things don't go my way, I'll get to go to court and have my say in court. Yeah, that's fair. We learned that doesn't mean a fucking thing. The law doesn't mean a thing. Your rights don't mean a thing. It's all a fucking scam. The only hope you have is to cure your brain, see the attacks which are coming from the Matrix, get a strong network of individuals, such as the War Room, and then learn how to escape. Most people are so deep inside of their programming. What did Morpheus say in the Matrix? Most people are so hopelessly dependent on the system they will die and fight to defend it. Most people will sit here and pretend that the world they live in is just and fair because they are fucking slaves. Slave-minded. And to break the slave mind, to truly resist the programming, you have to understand what's happening to you. And this is only the beginning. I could talk about this for hours and hours and hours. But the basic answer to everything is you must control your mind.
If your life is not reaching an expected end, do you have the courage to test your systems? Is it the way you speak, the way you understand, or the way you think that is stopping you from becoming what God would have you be? It is not the way you look.
And where's this come from? This tyranny and this future slavery? Well, I think power is always going to corrupt. no matter how good the person, I can give you a million examples, right? So I know nice guys, and they're genuinely a nice guy, and they get a girlfriend who's completely in love with them, and the girl will do anything for them. No matter how nice that man is, they end up just being a bit of a dickhead to her because she'll just take it. It's just what happens. Power corrupts people. Like we're not perfect creatures. And I think when you start getting mass amounts of influence and power, it's very normal and natural to get to a point where you just want to be completely and utterly obeyed. And also there's a huge ego trip. And when I say $1 to tell the time. I tell the time on my phone. I do it because I'm loaded. I have no respect for money. Money for me is a tool, and I use.
Andrew is empowering.
So I'm happy with it.
So Andrew, you're arguably the most famous guy on the planet. At one point, you were Googled more than Biden and Putin. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you feel you've lost a bit of your freedom now? So Andrew, you're arguably the most famous guy on the planet. At one point, you were Googled more than Biden and Putin, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you feel you've lost a bit of your freedom now, having to think about where and when you go somewhere and always going around with security guards?
I've certainly lost a lot of my freedom. Yes. Everything becomes far more labored. If I go to the mall, you don't just go to the mall. You have to organize the day that you go to the mall. You have to take a security team, and they have to plan where the car is going to go and drop off, and they have to be there in advance. And you have to decide which team's going inside with you, which teams. So yeah, you certainly lose a lot of freedom. I'm not complaining. It just takes a lot of organization.
How about when you're on your yacht and people are trying to get onto that?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Yeah, that was pretty crazy, but it's good. My captain's good. We can run away if we want to. But
you've got enough power in that yacht, then, yeah.
Yeah, and we move around a lot, so it's kind of hard to catch us. But yeah, I'm not complaining in any way. It's part of the territory, right? You just have to be very organized with it. It depends where you go. In the Western world, there's a genuine security concern, which makes it a completely different scenario. In London, if crowds come around me, I feel super uncomfortable. Whereas in Dubai or Romania, where I reside.
Okay, well, I first come across you, Andrew. You were dissing Teslas, and I came back at you a little bit on a TikTok, and I got about 20 million views.
The richest man in the world, Elon Musk.
No matter lies,
Listen, I don't have time to fight. Have your guys message my guys, and we'll have a chat on my podcast.
What are your views on Teslas
You
now?
called Andrew out, didn't you?
I did call you out a little bit.
I remember. And I love Elon. Elon's let me back on Twitter, so I have nothing bad to say about Tesla or Elon anymore. I am just not a fan of electric cars as a whole, because I think that we are being forced into the age of electric cars. So this is the last great age of the combustion engine. So I think that you should have a combustion engine car for as long as you can. Soon you won't have that choice, right? So why wouldn't you have a combustion engine while you can? In 10, 20 years, you're not going to have that option. So, but then saying that, I bought a Rimac Navara the other day, which is a very fast electric car. So I've kind of moved over. I've got a few hybrids. I'm getting there. It's kind of hard to avoid now. Yeah. But I think that combustion engines are all coming to an end, aren't they?
Yeah, but you'll always be able to buy one, won't you? Because you'll always be able to buy a vintage sports car or
I
something
want vintage.
like
I
that.
want brand new. I want the newest tech. I want the new ones. And the new ones are going to stop selling. They're going to stop making. That upsets me because I don't even think that the world's going to function correctly with this electric car garbage once everybody has one. How's everybody going to charge their electric car? Actually, think about it for a second. It's fine when the old person has an electric car, fine, but you're on the motorway and thousands of people need to charge their electric cars in 6 hours of time. How is this going to even work out?
The infrastructure isn't
The
there.
infrastructure.
Well, I mean, you don't need 6 hours. Like when I'm charging my Tesla, it takes probably about 30 minutes. But
30 whole
I'll
minutes.
throw it all
30
over the
minutes.
I
way.
can put dead
How
dinosaurs
close is
inside
the
my
base?
Ferrari in 30 seconds and I'm done. I'm
That's
out.
very true. But do you take a break on a long road trip? Do you often go for a coffee or something? Because I quite like it, just go and chill for a little bit, and then the car's
He
charged.
pretends that he likes it.
Yeah, exactly.
I do like it.
Well, but Andrew's being chauffeur driven, so he's relaxing all
Don't
day.
worry.
What was it, a Maybach today?
He was.
Unbelievable. All right, cool. I'm gonna go get him.
And if you don't know who he is, then he's probably the most famous person you don't know.
To be fair, yeah, a few of the people that you told didn't know who it was.
Well, how about the hairdressers yesterday? He said, guess what? Tomorrow we're going to be interviewing Andrew Tate. And go, oh, that sounds good. Do you watch the football?
There's an instinct of it.
It is a very good instinct.
This tastes nothing like coffee.
Of course it does. Hey, so you're doing this podcast. What did they say?
Yeah, they can't believe it. All right, cool. I'm gonna go get him.
And if you don't know who he is,
And this came out of the blue.
Yeah.
so what we're doing.
I reside.
Okay, well, I first come across you, Andrew. You were dissing Teslas, and I came back at you a little bit on a TikTok, and I got about 20 million views.
The richest man in the world, Elon Musk.
No matter lie, it says I can't keep believing the out.
Listen, I don't have time to fight. Have your guys message my guys and we'll have a chat on my podcast.
What are your views on Teslas
You
now?
called Andrew out, didn't you?
I did call you out a little bit.
I remember. And I love Elon because Elon's let me back on Twitter, so I have nothing bad to say about Tesla or Elon anymore. I am just not a fan of electric cars. I remember. And I love Elon.
아직도 진행 중이야.
Elon because Elon's let me back on Twitter, so I have nothing bad to say.
What are your views on Teslas
You
now?
called Andrew out, didn't you?
I did call you out a little bit.
I remember. And I love Elon because Elon's let me back on Twitter.
저 뭐냐 이거 뭐냐? 지금 나 뭐 해야 되냐? 저거 정리해야 되는 거 아니야?
I have nothing bad to say about Tesla or Elon anymore. I am just not a fan of electric cars as a whole because I think that we are being forced into the age of electric cars. So this is the last great age of the combustion engine. So I think that you should have a combustion engine car for as long as you can. Soon you won't have that choice, right? So why wouldn't you have a combustion engine while you can? In 10, 20 years, you're not going to have that option. So, but then saying that, I bought a Rimac Navara the other day, which is a very fast electric car. So I've kind of moved over. I've got a few hybrids. I'm getting there. It's kind of hard to avoid now.
Yeah.
But I think that combustion engines are all coming to an end, aren't they?
Well, they are, but you'll always be able to buy one, won't you? Because you'll always be able to buy a vintage sports car or
I want
something like
vintage. I
that.
want brand new. All the newest tech. I want the new ones. And the new ones they're going to stop selling. They're going to stop making. That upsets me because I don't even think the world's going to function correctly with this electric car garbage once everybody has one. How's everybody going to charge electric car? Actually, think about it. It's fine when the old person has an electric car, fine, but you're on the motorway and thousands of people need to charge their electric cars in 6 hours of time. How is this going to even work out?
The infrastructure isn't there.
The infrastructure.
Well, I mean, you don't need 6 hours. Like when I'm charging my Tesla, it takes probably about 30 minutes. But
30 whole minutes.
30 minutes.
I can put dead dinosaurs inside of my Ferrari in 30 seconds and I'm done.
That's very true. But do you take a break on a long road trip? Do you often go for a coffee or something? Because I quite like it. Just go and chill for a little bit and then the car's
He
charged.
pretends that he likes it.
Yeah, exactly.
I do like it.
Well, Andrew's being chauffeur driven, so he's relaxing already.
What was it, a Maybach today?
Yeah, something like that. But I drive around Europe. I do very long road trips, and it's fine for one person to take a break. But if you actually analyze the infrastructure of thousands of people trying to take a half an hour, 45-minute break, it changes everything. Also, the conspiracy theorist in me doesn't believe they're trying to push us towards electric cars because they care about the environment. I believe they're trying to push us towards electric cars for control because you can easily monitor an electric control car. You can see where it goes. You can turn it off.
Yeah, imagine lockdown and COVID with everyone having electric cars.
Turn their cars off.
Yeah.
Turn everyone's cars
It's a
off.
horrible thought.
No, but that's what they're good for. Like, why else would you think they give a shit about the environment? It's kind of amazing to me anyone buys any of this crap. They sit here and they talk about global warming, and then there's obviously the hypocrisy of flying around on jets, etc. But that's not even the true thing that shows you they're lying. The thing that shows you they're lying is the second they manage to launder enough money from the people and steal hundreds of millions of dollars, they go and buy beachfront property. All of them are sitting on beachfront houses. I thought they were scared of the rising sea levels. Now they don't give a shit. Because to them, no, put my house right here, right next to the ocean. So they don't care about the environment. None of them do. And anything they do, there's Trojan horses in life. They're going to come along with something like green environmentalism. They're going to Trojan horse it with control, which is what every government ever wants. If you oppose it, you look like a psychopath because who doesn't love the nature and who doesn't love the world, right? But truthfully, if you look at all the agendas inside of it, it's about more control. And that's the garbage that goes along with it. And like you said, lockdown. It would have been very easy. I'll give you another example. Imagine there's a protest. Imagine people finally have enough and they get fed up and there's a protest and you start trying to drive towards the protest to join in to exercise your democratic right. Just turn your car off. Now we have to walk. And this is where all of this comes to. You have to understand that every single agenda that is being pushed in the world today, all of them come with the Trojan horse of control. And I don't want to be controlled on that.
Joe.
Obviously, you've mentioned free speech there. Do you believe 100% in everything that you say and everything you put out there, or is it some of it just to poke the bear and cause controversy?
I believe in every point I make. However, there are points I make in a deliberately aggressive fashion to upset people. Yeah, I do that. But I do still mean everything I say.
Do you think that bites back at you a little bit too much sometimes, or?
Perhaps it can do, but I'm not afraid of. I'll stay right here. I've had a lot of people say, "What's it like to be canceled?" And the whole world hated you, and everyone was out to get you, and there was all these people trying to contact your family and dox their addresses, and I didn't give a fuck. I don't care.
Speaking about that, I even screenshotted it when I was doing some research for this. I found an article.
You guys got your coffee? You guys need coffee?
To be honest, I need a Red Bull or something.
Yeah. 20 coffees a day.
The first thing that came up when I googled you is inside the violent, misogynistic world of TikTok's new star.
The violent, misogynistic world, you know. What's crazy about
That's the
these
first thing that came
So
up.
how many things can they throw at you? You know?
Yeah, this is the Guardian.
Do you think the powers that be have pushed it too far recently with lockdown, and that's why you had this rise, or was there another reason behind? Because you've been doing social media for a long time, and the last couple of years of where you've really exploded. What's the reason behind that, in your opinion?
Power is a funny thing. And most people who have power in their lives don't understand exactly how power works. And power is a fantastic thing to wield, but there's always a line. And once you overstep that line, you have a difficult choice. So we can apply it to, let's say, a government. If you're a government, you have power. If people start to riot, you can send the riot police. That's fine. But if people continue to riot, and you continue to be more and more draconian, and you send the riot police to, let's say, shoot at unarmed people in a crowd, like they did in Romania in 1989, for example. Once you overstep the line with power, people no longer trust you with power. Once they don't trust you with power, you have mass rebellion and things must change. People who've been in charge of information for a very long time had the power, but it got to the point where after lying to everybody for years, nobody trusts them with the power anymore. You can't decide what I get to read because I trusted you to decide what was good and bad for me, and you completely ruined it. So yeah, a lot of people, anyone with a brain, anyone who doesn't work for the fucking Guardian, has clowns.
I think most.
뽑았다니까. 네, 최고.
People our age don't
Who
trust
wrote the article?
themselves.
Who wrote the article? Tell me the name.
Man, oh, thinking of all this stuff.
Let's name and shame it.
It'll take me a minute. Hold on.
So once you can't be trusted with power anymore, now what do you do? Right? Because nobody wants them to have power. So people are trying to seek out information in alternative ways. So yeah, there is some divine timing with my rise, certainly. There is some divine timing with it. But yeah, also it still takes bravery to stand up and speak out because I have had genuine real world detriment for doing what I've done.
Okay, it's Shanti Das.
Shanti Das. I challenge Shanti Das to a debate. I'd have a nice long conversation and absolutely destroy her so that she could sit there and make a fool of herself.
Well, I think their offices are quite close, so we could shout out from the window and get them over.
Shanty Das. Yeah, anyway, But yeah, they're not trusted with power anymore. So it's an interesting change of the guard. It's going to be interesting to see who comes into place. But there has been real world detriment to doing what I've done. They did delete me across all social medias and delete me on every app on my phone and freeze all my bank accounts and try and raise criminal charges against me for things I haven't done. And there has been real consequences.
So how did you get around them freezing your bank accounts?
You don't, do you? You have to just deal with the long legal process of having 7 or 8 bank accounts and millions of pounds frozen. And they just issue AFOs and they just freeze it. So this is the thing. It all ties into how deep you go into the matrix. Is the money that you have yours? Is the house that you own yours? Is any of it yours? You piss off the government. Piss off the government and tell me what's still yours. And you'll soon learn that none of it is yours. You think you own it. That's my money. I worked for it. I paid my taxes on it, so it's mine. It's not.
So bearing that in mind, are you worried about what you own? Because if it's not yours, they can take it away and you are speaking out against them.
I don't own anything.
I've heard you say that a few
So can you
times.
explain that?
Can you enlighten that? You own nothing.
I don't own anything. I'm just some dude.
I think you have a Bugatti though, don't you?
Yeah, when you say nothing, do you mean
Do you not own it?
Nothing.
Okay, that's
I
good.
don't own anything. There are cars. Let's say there's a
That you have access to.
correct. A trust in Singapore may own a percentage of a company in Dubai, which may have access to a car that I could borrow on a social media influence contract, perhaps.
Yeah.
But I don't own anything, and that's because if you own things, they come for you. Elon Musk tweeted the other day. Someone tweeted Elon saying, "What is the countdown until they raid Elon Musk's home for releasing the truth about what the FBI is doing with the election interference?" And his response was, "I don't have a home." You get to a certain level of wealth where you're like, you know what? It's easier just to not have things. I don't have anything. I can rent anything I want. If I want to stay in London for the next 10 years, I can walk into Dorchester and take the presidential suite at £20,000 a day for the next 20 years. So who cares? I don't need a house. But like you just get beyond that point with money. So it's kind of like this middle ground. When you're broke, you own nothing, and then you start doing well and you own a bunch of stuff, and then you get to the top and you're just trying to get rid of it all. Don't want to own anything.
Well, E-Man said when we'd viewed him, he said he didn't want to be a billionaire. He said as soon as you get to that sort of level, they'll start controlling you and manipulating you. So do you have a similar thought pattern on that?
It's very hard to not become a billionaire in the world today, I think, if you're truly influential. I'm already a billionaire if I had to have my net worth measured.
Oh, that would have been one of my questions.
I'm a billionaire. Yeah, so and net worth.
What are you bringing into that? Are you bringing in your whole brand as the part of that value?
Well, yeah, net worth is subjective, right? So Forbes contacted me to put me on the billionaire list, and they want to know everything I owned, and I told them I don't own anything, and they like, okay, well, they want to know my income, and I said, look, I'll declare to you, I'll show you maybe 20 million a month or something, and they said, okay, but the value, obviously, then you value the companies those things come from, right? You can take some of my companies people know about, like The Real World, which was previously Hustlers University. If I have a business that is making $20 million profit a month, and it is an online educational platform, the largest one in the world, and it's a subscription model, and you put an 8 times multiplier on the profit, which most tech companies could achieve, that's an $800 million business.
Could you sell that business without you attached to it though?
Well, that's the point. That's a good question. That's a very good question. And that's where, and I never would sell it anyway, but I know what you're saying. But then it comes into other things like branding, and the brand. I'm the most Google man on the planet. They can't ban me from algorithms. They failed. I'm the most TikTok person on the planet, the most viewed person on Instagram. Like, what's the value of that? You could give me, who makes these glasses? IKEA? IKEA could come to me with this glass and say, sell a bunch of these, and I can sell $1 billion of these glasses and take me a week. So, like, when I get offers, and trust me, I get a lot of them. I'm not a fucking scammer like Logan Paul. I'm not a clown. Crypto companies come to me and say, will you pump our coin? They start by offering me $50 to $65 million. They say, look, we need $65 million if you're mentioning this coin. I'm like, okay, $65 million to say a name. And I don't do it because I refuse to allow my fans to get ripped off like Logan Paul does to his fans. He's a fucking scumbag.
So what is your view on that whole crypto zoo situation? Because CoffeeZilla is doing an investigation at the moment, and it is quite gripping.
The dude's a clown. He's a person who doesn't care about his fans. He just wants to make as much money as possible off the back of people who watch him. It's different with me. I genuinely want every single Take fan, anybody who listens to what I say, to have an improved life. I want their life to be better for listening to me, whether it's in their relationship or whether it's in their physical stature or their financial capability. The idea of a 16-year-old spending their last money on a coin because I said so, and them losing money would bother me at night.
And they will lose it.
And they will lose. Of course they'll lose. Crypto is, this is what most people don't even understand about the crypto market. It's player versus player. You can only sell it for $10 after buying it for $1 because someone's buying it at $10. Someone is out to lose. So you can't launch a coin and nobody loses. This is why I haven't launched a crypto. I can make $10 billion today if I launched a crypto, but I refuse to do it because people are going to lose under my name.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense why people go into these groups and they're, oh, let's all hold together, but actually it's going to fuck each other over eventually.
It's all clown world.
Yeah.
And then you get to the point where you have to realize, do I need more money or do I want to genuinely be a force for good in the world? And I don't need money. It's the last thing I need. So I'm not going to sell my soul. Logan's obviously a brokey. So he sold his soul like a punk. And now God, then he insulted God, which was great.
I can see that.
He robbed all his
Yeah, I can see
fans,
that.
and then he sat there and insulted God, and now God's teaching him a lesson. And maybe he's take his atheistic ass and go look in the fucking mirror and understand that there's powers in his universe he doesn't understand. And he can stop being an arrogant piece of shit, and he can apologize to his fans. He can take the last money in his little brokey bank account and refund it like a man would. That's what I do. If they were insulting me, I'd go and say, look, here's my bank balance. I have this much money. I'm giving it to charity. Guy's a fucking punk. He's supposed to continue to talk on podcasts and pretend his fans are going to care about him forever. Nobody respects that man any longer from the day he attacked me. Anybody who attacks me gets fucking wrecked. True Jordy lost a sponsor, got wrecked. Logan got wrecked. I'm divinely protected. These clowns need to just not say my name. So yeah, because they're people without morals. And if you have no morality on a long enough time scale, God will teach you a lesson. They're fucking morally bankrupt individuals who are just sitting there, anything they can to grab some money from the world, fucking their fans.
So what is the situation with True?
Yeah, how's your best mate, True Jordan?
Yeah.
I don't know. He lost all his fans for insulting me. He tried to say something about my conversion to Islam. He insulted me and lost all of his.
I think he lost his fans.
Do you know what?
As well, yeah.
You know what? You don't bring religion into things, do you? Because that is your faith. My faith is my faith.
Yeah.
That is a personal thing.
Completely.
It's just past free speech, isn't it? It's just
Yeah,
a weird
pass.
thing to do. It's not about.
Yeah. Oh,
When did you reach that level of, well,
also, the BP station.
But do we
You're
need
a fucking
people?
slave in your mind.
do we need slaves though? Because
Yes, we
obviously
do.
we need people to work and do those jobs that obviously the free people can't do.
And this is the full circle realization when you get to the point where, as frustrating as it was, you need this slave class of people who buy bullshit so that I don't have to do bullshit stuff. Which is great. But usually the bullshit people can't tell me what to do. It's only during COVID they were allowed, and now that's all over. They can't tell me what to do anymore. So it's, fine. But if you're, and not everybody's mind can be free because society would break down. But of course, some people's minds are designed for freedom and some people's aren't. But it's amazing when you're talking to the slave mind, trying to get through to them. And it played out even in my cancellation. There are people who would sit and get furiously angry about the subject of me, saying I'm a bad person. And when you ask them one bad thing I've said, they don't know. How can you be angry about something and you don't even know why? It's all clown world. It's absolute clown world. It's slave mind, and the slave mind is actually a dangerous thing. When I'm combating it, people think I'm combating it just for fun. No, the most heinous crimes in the history of humanity have been conducted by people who blindly obey governments. Blindly. If you're going to sit there and be a dummy and blindly comply and be told to hate a certain race or hate a certain person or do a certain thing without thinking, that's how World War II happens. All these people who sit and say, I'm a good person and you're bad because I have my mask and I have my boosters and you're bad. No, I think you don't. You're the bad people. History is full of people like you who don't fucking think, who do as they're told. And you're the ones who end up fucking murdering people, not people like me. Everyone likes to believe they would have resisted the Nazis. They're the ones who would have not done it. But then they're fucking told to mask up and bend over for the fucking dildo and they take it. It's garbage. Clown
I
world.
think one of the greatest things.
Who the boss is? Who's in charge of England? I'll ask you guys. Do you really believe Rishi, whoever, is actually the boss of this place?
It's the puppet masters.
Of course,
isn't it?
they can't do shit. Who's the boss? Nobody even fucking knows who the boss is. You wonder why it's fucked? No one knows who's in charge.
Whoever's bossing the USA, whoever's bossing them, I don't mean the president, they're bossing us.
Absolutely. And this is the exact point. You don't know who's in charge anymore.
No.
And if you kick off and you get really upset, they just take the fucking person who's supposed to be in charge, flip them out to shut you up, and they continue to do whatever they want. All clown.
So have we passed the tipping point? Is there a return or is
So
Yeah. We've talked about supercars and watches to flex. Obviously, the biggest flex, I've heard you say this before, is having a woman in your arm. Do you think the majority of average Joes should strive to have multiple women?
Yeah, I get asked this a lot, and I think it's kind of misunderstood. I want to try and clarify this because I ask it a lot. People think I'm advocating for a man to go and have a bunch of women. That's not exactly what I'm doing. What I am saying is that female nature, not even masculine nature, female nature is if they find a man of high enough status that they're happy for him to have multiple women. That's the point. It's an observation on evolutionary biology. It's not me sitting trying to tell men what to do.
Do you think they could have the same kind of connection if that man isn't loyal to them and only them?
Well, I'm not a female. I'm just commenting on the fact that if Chris Brown walks into a club, every girl screams and wants Chris Brown, and none of them expect it to.
Right. So if you had a teenage son, what would be the one?
AI is bullshit.
Here's your piece of paper. Can we cancel again, Logan?
You were saying to call like that was me?
100%. The dude's a bitch.
Chooses to answer. Obviously, it's going to be on him. Today's guest is Andrew Tate. Many will call him possibly the most popular man on social media the last 6 months. Nearly 20 billion views from June to June.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here, guys. Thank you very much for having me.
So let's get right into it. So this banning happens, and we've had a lot.
I've always been rich, but I'm not just rich because of money. You have to understand. You could go to jail for 10 years and they would wait for
Is this your friend?
yeah, this is Emily.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah, so what do you do?
Aiden is a clown. Bro, Aiden is a clown, bro. Compared to Aiden is a clown, bro. 스피치 컵 아베큐 샀는데 they're a liar. 크리스피 직화 바베큐 시켰는데 사진 하나 찍자. I miss her. I miss Heiji. 뭐야? 저 뭐냐? 씨발. 씨. 다시. 뭐야? 이런 식으로 졸랐다. That's not why I reported made a review. 잠깐 볼게요. 하버드 박사지. 하버드 박사가 아시겠지만 이미 아시겠지만 우리 하버드 박사가 있어. 일리가 있는 말이라서. 생각을 얘기한 거죠. 네, 그냥 생각을 얘기한 거죠. 그럼 아무 얘기도 없이 안 알려주고. 혹시 뭐 먹는 거에 나왔을까? 냅다 집어넣고. 냅다 집어넣고. 냅다 집어넣고. 냅다 집어넣고. 아무도 없이. 냅다 집어넣고. CC 메시지. She's like the panda, bro. I mean, I like to bite her eyes, bro. I like to bite those lips. Bragging box. 일단 가다만. Oh, bro. Fuck. I don't want to touch her, bro. I don't want to touch her. Bragging box. Zuckerberg spent 400 million the last election. Value entertainment. 6 ways to create generational wealth and how to pass it down to your kids.
If you have 30 million or 40 million, your life's not going to change. If you have 30 million or 100 million, your life's not going to change. Your life's the same. So I'd rather just spend all that money on human experience and amazing things and try to get the best out of the physical world. That's what I personally do. So that's enough to survive. I see a lot of crypto guys, a lot of people talk about generational wealth and say by Bitcoin that they really want their children to be rich. I don't want my kids to be rich. It's another mindset I have. I really want to die taking most of my money. I do not want rich children.
Wow, this guy's such a. This is the mindset.
If you have 30 million or 40 million, your life's not going to change. If you have 30 million or 100 million, your life's not going to change.
Sure, 20 mil. 20 mil is enough. About 20 mil is enough.
So I'd rather just spend all that money on human experience and amazing things and try to get the best out of the physical world. That's what I personally do. So that's enough to survive. I see a lot of crypto guys, a lot of people talk about generational wealth and say by Bitcoin that they really want their children to be rich. I don't want my kids to be rich. It's another mindset I have. I really want to die. I don't want my kids to be rich. That's another mindset I have. I really want to die taking most of my money with me. I do not want rich children. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to financially incentivize my children. So when I used to have to run to the gym and suffer and fight, and at the end of it I still didn't have food, my boy's going to go through all that and he's going to fight, and I'm going to give him some money. But still he has to suffer, still he has to fight, still he has to win, still he has to run to the gym and back, etc., etc. I don't want my Most people do not self-reflect on their actions ever. And they don't understand why they end up where they end up. And they think it's someone else's fault. They're like, I can't get anywhere in life. I'm like, yeah, because you work your 9 to 5 when you come home, you smoke weed and play PlayStation. Why does everyone hate me? Because you do dumb shit and you make bad decisions. Most people do not self-reflect. I think the most miserable people on earth are those people who are born filthy rich. Imagine being born as an oil sheik. Money has no value. A Ferrari, you think it's gonna make you happy? Has no value. Nothing has value. Everything is just whatever. So you can buy unlimited Bugattis, you can buy whatever you want, diamonds, it doesn't mean anything. You have to be broke to appreciate being rich. You need that. So anyone who's sitting there going, oh, I want money, good. You need to feel how you feel now. Being poor is what's gonna make you happy once you have money. I think the most miserable people The worst thing you can possibly do for your kids is make them grow up rich. That's the worst thing you can do. I was raised poor, I made all my own money, and I hope I spend it all before I die. And my son can fucking make it himself. Because all of life's important lessons come from being broke. The best things you can hope for as a head start as a child are good parents and no money. If you have those two things, you're going to be all right. If you're born rich, you have no appreciation for anything, no appreciation for hard work, and you're always going to be, to some level, a dickhead. I've never met someone go, oh, he's a really nice person, and well, he was born rich, that's why. Ever, ever, ever. My father died with $12. $12 didn't make it a fucking day. He left me with intelligence and a warrior mindset to make my own money. So when I die, I'm dying broke. And the only generational wealth I'm going to instill in my offspring is the warrior mindset and the intellect for them to go and make it themselves. My father died with $12.
One of the biggest scam artists of our time, right next to Elon Musk and Donald Trump. That's kind of funny. I'm gonna like it though.
me tell you something. The worst thing you could possibly do. Man, woman, boom, child bang. I understand where it's come from. I'm not saying it's all typically bad, but I do think that in those scenarios, there's a lot of men who are particularly miserable, particularly men, especially. If you're a man and a woman and you have 3 boys and they're, let's say, traditional, Western, whatever, they all go and pay 3 different rents and all move with their girlfriends and everyone's getting wrecked, right? If you all stay together and combine your income, you also do much better financially. There's not a lot of immigrants who would survive, especially Muslim immigrants in England. Immigrants who tell the story. Absolutely, yeah, they all stay together in one big house. They all pool their incomes. You have a bunch of people with average jobs and Ferraris on the drive. And then they buy the house they're in, and they buy another. You pool the incomes. If you all split and separate and just spread out, you're just paying all different rents, all different electricity bills, and you're just so broke. You have to think of the last name and the generation, the clan as a whole. So yeah, I love the idea.
That's not generational wealth, bro. AI Nashiba.
The lazy loser's dream is that you can get in early on some garbage and not try very hard and then can make a whole ton of money. That's never going to happen. What can happen is you can get in early and work extremely hard and become extremely wealthy. And the fantastic thing about this is you only have to pull this off once. For one period, you could be rich forever. It's not just about getting in early. It's also about... The lazy loser's dream is that you can get in early on some garbage and not try very hard and then can make a whole ton of money. That's never going to happen. What can happen is you can get in early and work extremely hard. If you want to go from $0 up to $10 million a year, you're going to have to learn how to deal with stress. You're going to learn how to deal with people, how to hold meetings, confidence, how to manage staff. You have to learn things. By the time you get there, you're going to be a better person, not just because of the wealth, because wealth amplifies who you are as a man, because of the lessons you learn along the way. I have the real world where I teach people how to make money for real, but you have to learn skills. You have to work hard. It's not like crypto gambling. You have to sit there and do lessons and learn things and pay attention and be disciplined and turn up each day and try hard. But I'll teach you how to make money for real, and then by the time you make $10 million, you're the kind of person who can easily make $10 million anytime they want. What kind of returns have you seen on your $49 a month investment? I went from $3,000 worth to $2.8 million. I mean, $27,000 in a month. $1,000 a day, while still deployed, just using the real world. And there's You're only going to be successful if you turn up and you work every single day. If you don't work and you quit, you are going to fail. So the question is, do you want it or not? There's no shortcut. You either want to be successful or you fucking don't. And if you don't, that's fine. You need somebody with common gas. You need somebody with $100. If you want to be rich, we will teach you 18 methods inside of the real world. $3,000, $20,000, $500 in the real world. There's something else happening right now to change the fiscal system.
Kylie Jenners are fake. Looks so fake, bro.
I can't imagine truly wanting to quit something and not being able to quit. Like, I could quit cigars today, but it wouldn't even... plague my mind. Like If I wanted to quit, I'd quit. I can't imagine a mind frame or a mindset where I want to do something and can't do it. It's almost just difficult for you to answer that question, because if you have that kind of mind, if your mind is so fundamentally broken that you cannot do with your own mind what you want to do, right? You know, like that, then you're just fucked, right? Life is hierarchical. There's always going to be kings and there's always going to be peasants. If you have a mind that you can't control, then you're never going to be a king. You're going to be a peasant. That's your life. You have a peasant's life ahead of you, and that's your destiny. Enjoy it, right? There's always been peasants. That's life. But I believe that most important thing you can do as a man is to gain control of your mind. Once you have control of your mind, life is so ridiculously easy. It's so ridiculously easy. It's so easy to be. People say to me, "Tate, you're in good shape. All you do is drink vodka and travel the world. You never even home. You never even have a gym. How do you do it?" It's ridiculously easy if you control your mind. If I decide to do 1,000 push-ups, I'll do them. Maybe I'll do one at a time. Maybe I'll get tired. Maybe I need a break. I'm going to do 1,000 because I said I'm going to do 1,000. It's not fucking hard. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do. Once you control your mind, it's easy, right? Getting over a breakup with that bitch. You miss that girl, you're upset, you miss her with all your heart, da-da-da. But once you realize she's gone, if you control your mind, she's gone now. She's gone now, better miss her. That's a shame. Off to the gym. But like, you either control your mind or you don't. And all of these things stem from the same problem. It's something you can do. It's something that is learned. It's something that is taught. But it something that I needed to survive. So for me, it's easy, right? It's all I've ever known. Right? People have now they don't need it to survive, so they never develop the skill. It's just how it works. At the end of World War II, when men went to Europe and saw unspeakable horrors at the end of World War II, did they all come home and get therapy or did they all come back to life? Back to life. Because that was everyone was taught to have a mind that they control, because they needed to survive with no one else. That's how life worked back then. Now imagine there was a war that big. Imagine the fucking therapy, the fallout, the fucking bullshit. No one would be able to fucking just go back in. I'm not saying that it's bad things. I'm not saying it's not hard. It's fucking horrible. But that's just how it works. That's life. Like, I've seen shit like a lot of our trauma. You have to get through it. You either let it destroy you or let it build you. That's how it works. That's more that big. Imagine the fucking therapy, the fallout, the fucking bullshit. No one would be able to fucking just go back in. I'm not saying that it's bad things. I'm not saying it's not hard. It's fucking horrible. But that's life. Just how it works. At the end of World War II, when men went to Europe and saw unspeakable horrors at the end of World War II, did they all come home and need therapy, or did they all come home and get back to life? Back to life. Because that was everyone was taught to have a mind that they controlled and they needed to survive with no one else. That's how life worked back then. Now imagine there's a war that big. Imagine the fucking therapy, the fallout, the fucking bullshit. No one would be able to fucking just go back in. I'm not saying that it's bad things. I'm not saying it's not hard. It's fucking horrible. But that's just how it works. That's life. Like, I've seen shit like pull out our trauma. You have to get through it. You either let it destroy you or let it build you.
I agree.
What is the very best way to make money then in 2023?
In terms of how to make money in the world today, it's hard. I think that world is changing into an economy which is to a degree based on attention. I think you need to find a way to get attention to you and who you are, your service, and find a way to monetize it. You need to find an efficient way to get attention, and then you have to prove yourself credible in your field and attract customers. And I think the best way to do that is online, and it doesn't matter what it is. And I think you can do those things and you work very hard and you try your best and never lazy. You have to be positioned to take advantage of opportunities.
Yeah.
It's like in chess, they say good moves come from good positions. It's true. You can't find a good move from a terrible position, right? If you're sitting at home with no...
What do you say if a guy was working a 9 to 5, married 2 women, had a couple of kids, got these 2 or 3 holidays a year, and I said to you he was happy?
I'd say congratulations. I would genuinely say congratulations if you're happy with that. And I know that's like a pretty normal setup. If you're happy with that, absolutely congratulations, and I don't look down on you. That's perfectly fine. But some men are just not born that way. Some men are born with something else inside of them, the fire inside of them, which cannot be extinguished by beans on toast, TV at night, 9 to 5, sitting around with your wife. Some men are not satisfied with that. I know me as an individual, I could not be satisfied with that. That doesn't mean I look down on the people who are. Absolutely, congratulations. But my time on the planet, I guarantee, will be more eventful. I will die with more stories. I would have made a bigger ripple in space-time because I refuse to comply with just the average, this is okay, you'll be happy with this, take it. I think a man should have absolutely no interest in whether he's actually happy or not. If I wake up and I'm unhappy, I understood very, very well that $500,000 a month is good, but $1 million a month is better. And I also very, very much, if you're waking up and going, am I happy, am I not, you're looking at life wrong. I think as a man, if you put happiness far, if you move it down the scale, right, and you start looking at, am I successful? Am I competent? You know, am I achieving things? I understood very, very well that $500,000 a month is good, but $1 million a month is better. And I also very, very much understood that as soon as you stop pushing forward, as soon as you go stagnant, you're dying, right? As soon as you stay in one place, you're slowly on the way down. Bro, if there's a golden tap, that unlimited money, and you had buckets, and you took one bucket of money, would you just take that bucket, or would you run back? You know, I run back and run. I couldn't stop. I couldn't sleep. I remember walking to sixth form college. I was 16 or 17 with my 4 friends, and a Ferrari burnt past us. I said to my boys, I was like, man, how did that guy get that car? And I don't know. I was like, doesn't that annoy you? Like, why would it annoy me? Because we're going to school. Our parents are on council estates. Like, we're trying to scrape 20 pounds a week to eat. This dude has 400 grand for a car. Doesn't that aggravate you? Doesn't that show you that there's something about the world you do not understand? I was like, doesn't that annoy you? Like, well, the kind of people who are really genuinely upset by what I say are the kind of people who can't truly learn anything and become successful.
Yeah.
I obviously know what I'm talking about to some degree. So if Mike Tyson walks in here and tells you he's going to teach you how to box, and says you can't fight, you're a pussy. If that upsets you, then you can't learn, right? It's Mike Tyson. Just shut up. If someone Richard Lee comes along and says, Andrew, you don't know shit, you're a dumbass and you're a brokey, I'm going to sit there and go, okay, maybe I'm a brokey, Elon. The people who are really genuinely upset by what I say are the kind of people who can't truly learn anything and become successful.
Yeah.
I obviously know what I'm talking about to some degree. So if Mike Tyson walks in here and tells you he's going to teach you how to box, and says you can't fight, you're a pussy. If that upsets you, then you can't learn, right? It's Mike Tyson. I think we live in an attention economy. I think that's going to continue to be the case up into the future. I
I think that things have now changed. If you can manage to get attention, you can somehow monetize it. If I wasn't the kind of person who was good at garnering attention or didn't want to get attention, then I would find somebody who is good at getting attention and I would align myself with them. Then I would either find a way to increase or monetize it. Obviously being useful to them is one thing, but in my experience, outside of course me, everybody else who's good at getting attention is fucking lazy. They don't want to do anything else. So I would let them be the face.
For their career to be Triple G or be Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is more famous. It's show business. We live in an attention economy. The economy we live in now is based on attention. For their career to be Triple G or be Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is more famous. It's show business. We live in an attention economy. The economy we live in now is based on attention. If you can get attention in your direction for any reason, bad or good, you will be successful. The Kardashians have no reason to be successful. It's attention. So where we live in now, there's so much information and so much entertainment around. Garnering people's attention, stealing people's attention is difficult to do. But if you can find a way to do that, you're going to do well. For their career, to be Triple G or be Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor.
The hard part about making money today is that we live in an attention economy. You have to garner attention from people. It's difficult, right? Because anyone can start a YouTube channel, but it's getting the views that's hard, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be talented enough and skillful enough to garner attention. But if you can garner attention, then you can make money. I think that's the new modern way to view the world. It's an attention economy. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're getting attention, you'll make money. The best way to make money in the world today certainly has to be something online. I think that making money online gives you absolute freedom of your own geography. It gives you access to the largest possible customer base. But it's interesting. It's an attention economy, and truthfully, without saying too much, you either need to be prepared to get a whole bunch of attention on you, like we're all doing here, or you need to be close to some. The best way to make money in the world today certainly has to be something.
We live in an attention economy. The economy we live in now is based on attention. If you can get attention in your direction for any reason, bad or good, you will be successful. The Kardashians have no reason to be successful. It's attention. So where we live in now, there's...
Social media has completely and utterly changed the world. It's changed the way that we function. It's changed the way that we go out. It's changed even the places we go. Social media now runs the world. We live in an attention society, and people will do anything for attention because attention is a currency. You can turn attention into money. Jake Paul is not rich because he's a boxer. He's rich because he used the attention he gets and monetized it via boxing. So in the attention economy we now live in, you have to understand that your attention is valuable, especially as a man. And women are out here today trying to extract your attention from you without returning anything. But in terms of making money, it's certainly easier than it's ever been because we live in a global marketplace now. You reach the world, and all you have to do is have a message worth making people listen to. The hard part about making money today is that we live in an attention economy. You have to garner attention from people. But in terms of making money, it's certainly easier than it's ever been. We live in an attention society, and people will do anything for attention because attention is a currency. You can turn attention into money. Jake Paul is not rich because he's a boxer. He's rich because he used the attention he gets and monetized it via boxing. So in the attention economy we now live in, you have to understand that your attention is valuable, especially as a man. And women are out here today trying to extract your attention from you without returning anything. That's what the male-female friendship is. In the old days, men would give attention in return for sex. But nowadays, men just give attention and don't get any sex back. And that's what you... Be very, very... And flexibility, if we're talking about the attention economy, and we're now living in a world where things are changing.
Kind of looks like this monkey kind of looks like Does he look like me? Hey, what are you doing? Hi, I'm having lunch, and you? Nothing. This monkey kind of looks like you. What? Question mark, question mark, question mark. What? Why? So hungry right now, I'm making dinner. Why does he look like me? I don't know. That was weird. When did you get your braces? Lol. Ain't it funny? I don't use braces. Lol. Ain't it funny?
Changing so rapidly. Think of how different the world was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago, we had Motorola Razors. Couldn't even do a video on our phones. Now we can film Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how fast the world's changing. And you're going to say, for 22 years, I'm going to live at this address. You're a dummy.
True.
Do I get attention in the world today, which is difficult? And then once I get that attention, how do I monetize it?
Yeah.
Because that's the world we now live in. Rihanna, when she launches a makeup brand, no one buys it because of the makeup. They buy it because it's Rihanna. She has attention. She can monetize it any way she chooses. Rihanna can launch a fucking clothing brand, makeup, sofas. Who cares? It's Rihanna.
Yeah.
She's gonna sell. Do I get attention in the world? Social media has completely and utterly changed the world. We live in an attention economy. It's no longer about competence like it used to be. It's about attention and it's about
Competence like you used to be. True. 누가 잘하는지가 아니라 누가 attention을 가질 수 있는지. How do I garner attention, bro? attention을 끌으면 좋은 거야. 테이트 말을 들어. 맞아, attention만 끌면 돼. 어떻게든 나한테 시선을 집중시키기만 하면 돼. 어떻게든 아무 방법도 상관없어. attention이 중요해. attention. 어떻게든 나를 생각하게 할 수 있는 수단, 모든 수단을 나한테 집중하게 만드는데 it's an attention economy, bro.
network. So it's two things. It's who you know and it's how many people pay attention to you. So if you develop a phone addiction and you refuse to consume and you only create, you'll start to attract attention sooner or later. And when you can do that, there's usually lots of different ways to money. So someone came to me and said, I have nothing, no skills, no money, nothing. And I had to get rich, get a phone, develop phone addiction, and just start to create.
That's all you have to do.
Social media has completely and utterly changed the world.
봤어요.
Would you rather have 5 million new followers or $50 million in the hand?
5 million.
I would say 5 million new followers because we now live in an attention economy, and if you manage to use those followers in the right way, you can monetize it far more efficiently. But it also depends on who you are, that you can monetize audience. If you have anything value.
You don't need followers, man. Give me that cash and peace.
Andrew, there's a couple of questions I want to ask you. We can start with some questions. What would you do if you had to start over today?
Very good question. Do I start over as me, or do I start over as me, or do I start over as Joe Schmo? And I'm only going to answer one of them.
The answer, Joe Schmo or Andrew Tate? Joe Schmo.
I think we live in an attention economy. I think that that's going to continue to be the case up into the future. I think that things have now changed. We've managed to get attention, we can somehow monetize it. If I wasn't the kind of person who was good at garnering attention or didn't want to get attention, then I would find somebody who is good at getting attention and I would align myself with that. And then I would either find a way to increase their monetization. Obviously being useful to them is one thing, but in my experience, outside of course me, everybody else who's good at getting attention is fucking lazy. They don't want to do anything else. So I would let them be the fate.
Andrew, there's a couple.
And I realized that weaponizing your attention is the only thing you have. That's the only weapon men have in the sexual marketplace, your attention. Typically, men give attention to get sex, and girls give sex to keep getting attention.
That's your primary kind of tool or resource.
That's your only resource. Because even you talk about money and all this shit, that's all garbage. The only resource you have is your attention. And the reason it's so difficult is because now when you get so much attention for no reason, then why does your attention have value? You just put value on your attention. So then how you put value on your attention, everything that's valuable like gold is scarce. So I don't give my attention to any girl on my back. I don't follow you on Instagram. Women are absolutely emotional. What I've learned is it's better for a woman to even hate you they'd feel nothing. Because women live in an emotional world and they want constant drama. So what I would always try my best to do is I try and make girls very, very happy, and then I try and piss them off as much as I can. And the emotional roller coaster of it.
악질적인. 아주 바뀌었을 것 같아, 뇌. 악질적인 새끼가. 뇌 바뀌었을 것 같아. 인상적으로 나올 것 같아. 악질적인 새끼. 예쁘네. 악질적인 새끼. 나 악질. 뇌 바뀌었을 것 같아.
Just made me such an entertaining individual. It was very hard to replace me. Because they'd say, oh, I want a normal guy. And then they'd get a normal guy. I'm like, this is fucking boring. So you can do anything you want to a woman except for her. Women are controlled by emotion. So if she's furiously angry at you,
시도를 해보는 거야, 최대한.
what happens with me? Let me give you an example. What happens with me? I come home. My 4 wives are sitting there. They've seen on the news there's new deadly contagion. Andrew, you need to wear new deadly contagion. I pick up my sword. I am the commander of this house. I decide if there's a contagion. I decide what I do. Be quiet. Go. What most men trained to get a little sniff of puss is they sit there and go, really, baby? Oh, what did you? Oh, really, baby? Did you watch the news today? What did you find out, baby? Really? There's contagion? Can we have sex this week? No, this week. Okay. Next week? Maybe. Okay. Maybe next week. Okay, not next week. Okay, yeah. Carry on. Yeah. Contagion. Yeah. Yeah, that's me.
Will Smith in a nutshell. Little puss. Little puss. Cook. There you go. I love this guy. No respect for the modern bullshit society. I'll pick up my sword. Be quiet. Cook. I'm in danger outside. There's danger. I'm the danger. Cook. That's hilarious, bro.
I believe we live in an attention.
Bro.
We live in an attention economy. Yeah. This is the economy we now live in. It's no longer about competence like it used to be. We live in an attention. The hard part about making money today is that we live in an attention economy. You have to garner attention from people. It's difficult, right? Because anyone can start a YouTube channel. It's getting the views that's hard, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be talented enough and skillful enough to garner attention. But if you can garner attention, then you can make money. I think that's the new modern way to view the world. Sell, right? So that proves that we now live in an economy, we live in a world where the most valuable currency, the most valuable thing that exists is attention. It's extremely difficult to get because people's attention spans are lower than ever.
Yep.
Bro, they're non-existent. Have you ever watched someone on TikTok? Next time someone's on TikTok, watch them. Because I don't have a TikTok account myself, but I see people on it. How long do they give a video to interest them? Maybe a third of a second? They're like,
not interested enough, move on.
Bro, that quick. If you don't get my attention in 0.25 seconds, I'm not interested, right? That's how hard it is now.
So, and it's getting harder and harder because the apps and the algorithms are retraining our brains to do that.
Yeah.
So now we live in a world where if you could find a way to hack these algorithms, if you could find a way to get attention, and there's lots of different ways to do that, then you could find a way to monetize it.
Andrew Tate's brand was built on offering young men motivational content and then selling them online courses on how to become successful like himself. In everything he does, his sworn enemy is what he calls the Matrix. And while he's never actually defined this vague, veiled institution that appears to have him in their crosshairs at all times, his fans have eagerly adopted the Matrix as their own enemy. And through this genius storytelling trick, he's probably sold more self-help courses than all other YouTube gurus combined. While most influencers sell generic advice on how to be more productive or start a business, Andrew Tate sells something that goes beyond the screen. He sells the dream of breaking free of the chains placed on you by the evil institutions that want to control you. And when you've built this entire narrative and made it part of your core identity, being arrested and unfairly treated by authorities will make even the most skeptical
Attention is a fantastic way to a lot of the right-wing guys are actually losers. I'm literally the only person I know who I would consider myself right-wing, but there are some left-wing ideas I agree with. I agree with the idea of universal healthcare system. If I ever wake up in hospital, I don't owe trillions of dollars. I think that's a good thing. I agree that global warming is real. And I also believe that women should be allowed to have abortions. Would you force women to have kids they don't want? You're just going to raise a whole bunch of shitty kids and inspire crime rate to go up. They don't want the kid. They're not going to be able to raise the kid properly. It's just going to be pure hell. And they're all left-wing ideas. But most right-wing people are like, no, global warming's not real. No, abortion's bad. No, I'm like, you know what? I'm the only person who is right-wing, but I can look at things sensibly. And most people can't do this. And the reason that in the left and the right, nobody really gets the comparison, because everyone is so blindly loyal to literally one side.
did it so many times that I'm tired. Almost 10. 피곤해. 왜 피곤하지? I'll get girls and you take.
Everyone's dealt with it from happy to angry, from normal to angry. No one's done it the other way fucking around. I would reverse it on people. I start shouting. You come near my car, I fucking start shouting. Then once I know it's violence time, I drop the whole shout. I go straight to the nicest man in the world. I'll smash your fucking face. So you'd be aware of your body language and able to change it. It's extremely important. A lot of people talk about mirror body language. I don't like this shit. People go, oh, if you mirror someone's body language, they like you more. Fuck that. That's pussy shit. Oh, someone crosses their arms. Simon Says. It's a little fucking punk. I say all I want to say. I call into your room. I say like this. If everyone changed their body language, I don't fucking care. This is how I say it, because I'm in charge. Alphas don't change their body language. Look at orangutans. Look at fucking apes. They're the closest relative we've got. The alpha doesn't change for shit. Everyone else changes when he's around. So don't believe that mirroring crap. Oh, if you go out with a girl and you mirror her body language, shut the fuck up, man. You're gonna sit there with a girl. She crossed her arms and I crossed my arms and then she sucked my dick. Never. I sat down when I was a fucking man. That's why she sucked this dick. Nothing to do with fucking me cross my arms and shit. Fuck that shit. Get that mirror. Now, we move on. Smiling is effective, but it's only effective if it's used selectively. People tell me, Tate, you never smile. That's not true. I do smile. I smile selectively. My smile has value. If you guys are watching this, I'm trusting you've seen the PhD course. How do you give your attention a value? By making it rare. Why is gold valuable? Because it's scarce. I rarely smile. If you walk through life,
피곤해.
one, you a fucking moron. Two, who gives a fuck if you smile? Because I rarely smile. If you walk through life, one, you a fucking moron. Two, who gives a fuck if you smile or not? If I smile, my smile has value, has weight, has currency.
True.
I've had my girl in 6 years. She'll message me, I need you.
피곤해.
You smile today.
Oh.
Happy.
Oh.
Because it's hard to do. Oh my God, I made him smile. He woke up and I'd already cooked dinner and I had coffee in his favorite mug and I brought it to him. I told him I loved him and he smiled a little bit. She got her reward, which is my smile. If she woke up and I was like, hey baby, what if you give a fuck if I smile or not? I smile when it's deserved. You're a fucking full-grown man. You should be walking through life smiling. You need to smile at people when something of merit happens. I'm not saying come across as a miserable fuck. I'm not saying you sit there and look at your phone and kill yourself. You're not evil. Once again, you need to adapt your own body language style. You need to decide when you're going to use your smile and when you're not. You don't say try to hold it in. I'm saying you've probably learned to smile instinctively. You're smiling at things that don't really make you smile. You're smiling at things that you don't find funny to be polite. But let me tell you what smiling is. Smiling is a sign of submission. Look at apes, our closest relative. Apes smile to submit. When the alpha males, the beta males, they show their teeth. They go, it's like, don't hurt me. This is actually we studied this today. They show their teeth in a sign of submission. You're basically saying to the world, don't want to hurt me. Please, please, no, I'm a nice guy. How are you? If Trump smile at every motherfucker who sees him, it's okay. Yeah. Someone who actually is a real cheater. Please, please, no, I'm a nice guy. How are you? If Trump smile at every motherfucker who sees him, it's okay. Yeah. Someone who actually is a real cheat turns on. Someone who's done a fantastic job that week, we'll give him a little bit of smile though. Smile moving on.
Yeah.
Why? Trump smile. Like, he doesn't walk through life looking like a fucking.
That's true.
I like your story when those guys were following you with you, and you're like, hey, you come up with that was hilarious because they just kept.
The reason I'm anti-weed is weed's the one I don't truly understand. I don't see the point in doing a drug that makes you lazy. Calm down. I can get tired by myself. I can just work my ass off to go to the gym and get tired for a bit. I can get tired. Let's take a drug. I want these to get one that makes me superhuman. Yeah. Give me some meth or some shit. Yeah.
Meth.
Maybe like those crackheads that are bulletproof, like getting shot. Yeah, they get out there. I don't know, that's what I want. I'm gonna take the weed all tired, bro.
Team Sigma. Team Sigma. Team Sigma. Team Sigma. Phil Jackson, bro.
이삭집 뺐다 전화번호가 2개가 나온 겁니다. 이걸 외워야 됩니다. 시험 기간이라. 그럼 우리 평소 같으면 어떻게 할까요? 밑줄 10번 먹고 레스팅 10번 쓰고 외우겠죠. 자, 외우지 말고 제 말 따라서 이해만 해봅시다. 이해란 뭐라고요? 왜 그럴까라는 의문을 하고 답을 찾는 거예요. 자, 247세타 사장은 왜 248이라고 번호를 매겼을까요? 그죠. 이사를 빨리 하자는 뭔가 한글 발음을 활용해서 마케팅에 활용하려고 했겠죠. 자, 1786. 왜 1786이라고 했을까요? 그냥 이건 이유가 없어요. 그냥 전화국에서 랜덤하게 준 번호를 받아 쓴 거예요. 이건 이해할 수 없어요. 알겠죠? 자, 재미있는 얘기. 35년 후에 강원도에 여행을 가신 여러분은 해변가를 걷다가 저를 만나게 됩니다. 이 사람은 그때까지도 머리 스타일이 똑같아요. 저를 기억한 여러분이 갑자기 반갑습니다. 그럼 제가 이상한 질문을 합니다. 혹시 그때 나왔던 이사짐 센터 전화번호? 여러분이 이런 미친놈이 하면서 입으로는 이사팔이요 이러고 있습니다. 우리가 바라는 전별 비행정치야. 한 번 본다? Nice to meet you. 이삿짐 센터 전화번호가 2개가 나온 겁니다. 이걸 외워야 됩니다.
너 왜 외워? 주입식 교육 왜 시키냐?
Nice to meet you. My name is Steve. This is my first time in Japan. This is my first time renting the girls. I don't know what to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, not that.
She said she don't understand you.
I'm so fucking with you. I can speak English.
Bro! Are you serious? You knew English this whole time? Nice to meet you. My name is Steve. This is my first time in Japan. This is my first time renting the girls. I don't know what to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, not that.
She said she don't understand you.
I'm so fucking with you. I can speak English.
Bro!
Should have barked. Barking is universal. True. Bored of her. Did it so many times. I'm bored.
Can be ripped, but it's the way they move. I know I've seen guys who don't have a body like that, and I can sense it. I've seen guys who are built like that, and I can just tell that they would crumble. It really is an amazing thing. And I think this is something that you become more tuned into, more honed on when you're a fighter yourself. But it's obviously something that humans naturally possess. We naturally possess the ability to spot another male and think, that guy's a dangerous guy.
Dangerous guy. 위험. True. 위험하다. Dangerous guy. 파괴적이어야 돼. 다 바꾸려고 하지 마. 오늘 다 바꾸려고 하게.
So I can tell you tips and tricks in an attempt to mimic the body language of a dangerous person, or you become a dangerous person. This course is not a shortcut course. This is not tips and tricks. This is not bullshit. This is about how to become a genuine male of substance. And to become a genuine male of substance, you need to know how to fight. It's very difficult to be a G if you're going through life and you crumble at physical confrontation. Because when you get to a certain point in your life, you will encounter physical confrontations. If you're going to go and travel the world and drive fast cars and wear expensive things and attempt to fuck beautiful women all over this planet, sooner or later you're going to attract negative attention from either jealous men or an ex-boyfriend or a brother or a fucking robber who wants your car. Who knows? Are you really a G if you mimic every single aspect of a high-quality man, and then when that situation happens, you fold? No, of course you're not. You need to learn how to fight.
Breaking box. Breaking box. Breaking box. 맞아. breaking box 말이 맞아. 하버드 박스 breaking box. 분명히 있다. 사학의 악취. 순수한 의학이라기 뭐야 보기에는 사회적 악재는 무슨지 존재한다. 하버드 박스.
Teach you how to fight. I don't need to sit here in this course and say do this, do that. I don't need to teach you any of that because you can go. It doesn't matter what city you are on earth. There's an MMA class or there's a boxing class that will teach you how to fight. You need to dedicate substantial periods and portions of your time to learning how to fight.
Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, LeBron, Dwayne, Michael Jordan, bro. 힘들어. 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 너무 힘들어. 너무 힘들어요. 너무 힘들어. 너무 힘들어. 피곤해. 피곤해. 피곤해, 씨발. 피곤해. Does it make you sleepy? Does much? oxytocin, serotonin, vasopressin, and prolactin. I see. 피곤해. 피곤해 죽겠어. I'm so sleepy. As book. Stop consuming content, create content from now on. That's the rule of thumb. Rule of thumb. Attention economy, you gotta create content. Every content you consume, I'm gonna try to create. I'm gonna try to do it, alright? Develop a phone addiction, bro. Hack the algorithm, bro. Biggest social media. Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, WeChat, TikTok, Facebook Messenger, Telegram, Snapchat. Yo, it's IG. It's YouTube. YouTube is the biggest. Could try TikTok, but YouTube is bigger. Oh man. Don't give a fuck. Do I? Do I? I'm not. You need food and a place to eat. I don't know, bro. Where? Develop a phone addiction, bro. Control your mind, bro. Control your mind. 피곤해. Fuck CR. Sixth form college. Get a degree. What does Tate think about degrees? 피곤해. The lady I saw on the bus. It was an older lady probably in her late 30s. She looked decent, bro. And a few days earlier, I think 2 days ago, I'm so sleepy right now. I really have to fall asleep. It's 3:40. I don't know, bro. I really have to sleep, bro. I mean, there's nothing much to be done. Is there? No. 카드도 발고 받았겠다. 쉬어 그냥. 일단 자. 내일 일찍 일어나서 해야겠다. 일찍 일어나야 돼서. Alright, bro. End the stream. Bye. I gotta drink some. Do I have any? Is there anything left? Even yeah, there's some left. Alright, bye. End the stream. I'll just sleep. Yeah. Bye. I'll wake up tomorrow. 3:41. I don't know. I'm so sleepy. Oh. Oh, I am so sleepy, bro. So sleepy. Machine gun Kelly. Machines. I have a name that's worth remembering, like Machine Gun Kelly, bro. It's a weird name. People remember him though. Oh, 일단 end the stream and let's just sleep. Oh. I'm so sleepy. 너무 피곤해. 돌 것 같아 진짜. 너무 피곤해. End the stream, bro, and just sleep and I don't know. I don't feel sleepy though. That's the problem. I can't sleep if I do anything 자극적. Wake up tomorrow and do it. 3:44. I watch some YouTube or something and sleep. Bye.